Hello. Hello, welcome to the Gentle Writing Life. I'm Carol, and today I want to talk to you about something that's really important to me, and that is the spoon theory. I have some notes here up to my right, so if you see me looking up, that's what I'm doing. And you might already know about it. Are you a spoonie? Lots of people would describe themselves as a spoonie. And the spoon theory is a concept used to represent how individuals manage their limited energy. And when I first heard about this, I was so excited because my disability happened quickly for me overnight. And so I had to learn to adapt to that, which I've been doing for about the last 5 years now. And I'm much further on than I used to be. And the spoon theory was absolutely a game changer for me. So if you imagine trying to think about why some days you're really tired, some days you've got fatigue and you can hardly move from the sofa or you can't get out of bed, it can be very difficult to explain that to someone, and often families and friends just don't understand it. Well, this way you've got something, a way to communicate it, and so it supported me for that way as well. So I'll go through and I'll explain to you what it is. Why do we care about that, and how can we use it as writers? How can we use it, and how do we use it in our wider life? So, as I say, it's a metaphor to describe the amount of physical or mental energy that a person has available for daily activities and tasks, and how it can become limited. And in 2003, an American writer called Christine Miserandino, she was in a restaurant speaking to her friend, and Christine lives with lupus, and so she was trying to explain fatigue and how exhausted she gets, and she tried to do that in the environment she was in, which is a restaurant. So she gathered up some spoons and used it to explain it, and that's why it's a spoon theory. So she gathered up 8 spoons, and the theory is that an ordinary person, anybody who isn't living with a medical condition, who doesn't have issues with tiredness and fatigue, you have unlimited energy. And that energy, when you expend it, can be recouped. So an ordinary person gets up in the morning, has a shower and has breakfast. By the time they've sat and eaten their breakfast, they have rejuvenated the energy that they used in the shower, and by the time they get to work and they've done that journey, they have saved up the energy again from what they used in the morning. So, which is why we do things and have a rest. So somebody who's a runner will go have a run, come in, have a shower, perhaps have something in with protein, and then they can have a rest, and they will recoup that energy then. Somebody with a medical condition, however, it doesn't recoup. So if somebody has a shower for 15 minutes and it takes them half a spoon, for someone like me or you, that could take 2 spoons or 3 spoons. That's nearly half your energy for a day. If then you don't recognise that, and you come to do something else that expends quite a bit of energy in the same day, you're wondering why you're having a bad day the day after. And that's the reason why, because your body's been pushed to beyond where its capabilities are. So why do we care about it? So for me, it was a game changer for several ways, really. One is it's simple, so you can communicate it easily. 2 is I now manage my own energy in my days on my own terms. It gives me some control back, and I decide how to plan my days and weeks. So you might plan it hourly or daily, but for me, I like to see the bigger picture of what I'm doing. I feel a bit more in control that way. It's probably because that's how I worked in my professional life before I was medically retired. So that's another way to think about that. We care about it because it's a really useful tool to manage our days, to understand our energy, and to communicate what's happening to us and how we can manage that to our nearest and dearest, or somebody in work, or your GP, or a family member, whoever that is. A lot of professionals understand the spoon theory, but if you don't, they don't, well then it's easily explained to them and they can look it up themselves. There's a really good Wikipedia page, and I'll put that link down below. So communicating it to others, as I explained, it's a thing, it's recognised around the world. This theory is used to explain to people who are disabled or got medical conditions that limit their energy. That's how they learn about it. And if you haven't learned about it, then here we are today. But if you have, then I'm going to specifically look at how we as writers can save that energy and use it up. Many disabled people call themselves spoonies, and there are communities and social media groups where they refer to themselves as spoonies. If you go and have a look on Facebook or Instagram, there will be groups for spoonies there that you can join, and they usually discuss how they use the theory to manage themselves. So if that's something you're interested in, it's probably a good idea to go and have a look for that. So how do I use it as a writer? So you can use it for any part of your life, but specifically for writing, once I understood how my systems could be changed, then I'm conserving a lot of energy and I can do a lot more than I could before. So my system is, first of all, where you're writing, make it somewhere where that you can go to and you can just sit down. So if you've got a laptop, have it open, keep it charged. Yeah. If you're using a desktop, having it in a room where you can go to, keep that room warm, so that, because I've got a back room in my house that I used to sit and write in, and that's great in the summer because the sun streams through and it's really warm. But in the winter, the back of the house gets really cold, and I don't really want to heat the whole place. So I've moved mine now, and I have it in my dining area, where it's really convenient, and it's set up takes up 1/4 of my dining table, and it's just an easy place to be. I can look out of my window, so you can see the window here. Where can I show you? There you go. So that is it's huge patio doors with blinds on, and usually I have those blinds open, and some of the doors will be open as well, and people go past, and it's just really lovely. Yeah, so people give me a wave, and it's really nice. Yes, so I used my laptop. Now, my system, I've had HP laptops, the last couple that I bought, so I decided to continue with that system. So my printer is HP to make that nice and easy. I've got an external monitor here as well, so that gives me a bigger screen because my eyesight's is affected through my multiple sclerosis. So my eyesight's affected, and it changes all the time. So a bigger screen really helps me. Also make it bigger so that your usual text size is bigger. Have a look at the fonts. The font makes a huge difference as to whether and how easy it is to read anytime. So I have my font set at Georgia. And if you have a look, if you're using Microsoft, it's Georgia. If you're using other apps and they have limited types of font, then there's one called Libra Baskerville, and that's very similar. So if you can look at for one of those two, have a look and see how Georgia looks for you. And if you think you like that, that's great. But just go through, spend some time looking at the fonts and having a look to see which one suits you better, and also the size that you have it as well. So Microsoft, certainly their default setting is 12. And that to me is just too small. So I have my default setting at I think about 14 or 16. And that way then I can see it easily enough. And then if I come to send it somewhere, I just select it all, reduce it down, and it goes off. So it's using less paper for people. But that's how I work. And it's just about making it easy for yourself. So you have a look, see where it is that you're writing. Is the light right? Is it warm enough? If you live on your own, can you see and get to things easily? If you live in a busy house, is it a quiet place, or can it be made quiet? Is it quiet at certain times of the day? Because if you're living in a family home, then that's family life, isn't it? It's busy, it's noisy, it's hectic at times, but each family member should be able to find themselves some peaceful and quiet time. And if that's something that doesn't happen for you, then maybe that's something for you to look at as well. Can you put aside some quiet time that you can write? The other thing that I do is manage my time over a period. So, for instance, I will manage my time weekly. So I have a diary. I have it in my phone, but I also have a written down diary like that as well. A week to review diary. That really helps me. I have certain things, appointments that I would call a datum. My datum's going. Okay, don't judge me. Mine is. I have any hospital appointments. I have hair and nails. So I have my hair washed and blow dried twice a week at a salon, because it's impossible for me to do it safely at home, and I'll do another video as well about our health and hygiene. So I do that. I go and have my nails done. I have a pedicure here once a month at home. I also have a reflexology session once a month at home. So those go in my diary on a monthly basis, and then they go in here. And this is a weekly one, and all the detail is in there. But on my phone, I will just have what's in on the day and what the times are, and then it all goes in here, so that I can see it wherever I am, but I can also see the detail of it as well. If I spread across the week the things that I need to do, that means that energy is spent, but I've got gaps in between, and those gaps are where I write and plan and plot. So that's quite a process for me, because I have cognitive deficit with short-term memory. I have issues with my executive function, which is the front part of your brain, which has your short-term memory. So I can't keep a whole story or a whole book in my brain at any one time. So it's very hard then to write the detail of what's in a bigger book, because how do you remember what the story is and who the characters are? But I have got all of that. It's taken me nearly 3 years to develop a process that I'm going to share with you. So that's the point of our gentle writing life, is that I'm going to show you how I do it, and then you can have a look and see if it's going to help you too. And if you think it will, then keep watching, because I'm going to share what I do, and hopefully you'll share yours as well in the comments. It'd be really nice to see what the things that you do as well, because there might be things I can pick up, because I had my diagnosis and my medical emergency just before COVID. It meant I didn't get the usual support and assistance that I would normally have got, exactly the same as lots of other people didn't with their conditions as well. People didn't get diagnosed with cancer and things like that. Well, that's what happened with me as well. So a lot of these adaptations that I've done are just ways that I found myself, which is why I'm really interested to find out how you manage your day. Are the ways that you change to do certain things? It's really good to share them, because then we'll learn more. So I'm really looking for, I've set this up because I'd like a community, really. Let's get together and let's teach each other things and enjoy the process, whether you're writing because it's poetry, whether you're writing because it's your feelings or fiction. Maybe you've always fancied writing a book, but you just don't think you can because you're too tired and your brain doesn't work. Well, that is me. That is my exact life now. I've got serious issues with my brain function, but I've always loved writing and I've always loved reading. So that's the reason why this is what I've done. So I think that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you've got any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I will come and answer them. And if anybody else has got any thoughts or ideas, please feel free to do that. And and come back, and I'll just keep loading. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye.